Hey guys, SK here, back with another Clash Royale video. Hope you guys are all doing well. In today's video, I'm going to be starting a new series called SK's Xbow Guides, where I'm basically just going to be going over some really cool replays with Xbow Cycle, of course, and showing you guys some nice little tips and tricks, or just a general breakdown of my thought process and gameplay for you guys to learn from, because I do love, playing this deck. I love teaching you guys this deck as well, and I thought there were lots of different little situations where I'd like to just, make a video talking about it, but I didn't end up recording it live, so I figured I might as well just do a bunch of analysis type videos in one, I guess, like of different matches. And so this is also going to be on my new channel, SK777, where I'm just going to be uploading a bunch of stuff where, I guess, without much restriction. Like, I feel like these are all videos I'd love to record anyways, but just might not perform that well on the main channel. But on here, I don't really have to worry about it, of course. So I did just go off 3 12 in GCs in a row, actually more like 5 or 6, I think. I haven't been able to check the rest of my log, but there's at least one more below this 32 GT finish, number 65, and then also there was at least like one more before that, I think. But yeah, I have been doing pretty well. Right now I'm 4-0 in this newest one, so I've been doing alright with 3.0 in GCs. And yeah, this is also from my number 122 122nd GC win, some of these games. So yeah, I'll just be going over some really cool replays I found lately and just be speeding through, I guess. Also, I am quite sick right now. You guys might be able to tell by my voice. My throat's been pretty off as well. Pretty unfortunate. Might have been from like my university orientation last week. I went to the club and stuff at the end, and it was super fun, but I've been really out of it all weekend. But I do love making videos and don't want to stop myself any longer from recording, I guess, so I'm just going to be running with it. So yeah, anyways, hope you guys enjoy the video, and let's get right into the matches. The first one here, we have this game against a very interesting Electro Giant deck. And I'm going to be saying this one is like why patience is key. I guess that's going to be the main takeaway here. So I actually end up going down like 1.5k in this game, but then I'm still able to come back, and so that's why, just playing patient is very important with this deck in general. So I want to show you guys, number one, how I got down so much to begin with, and then number two, how I was able to play patient and just really safe, I guess, to come back. So right here, I tried to protect my archer, get the best of both worlds, but sadly didn't work out. Flying machine does not cross the bridge, so I just kind of run with it and protect. Then I go for the log, and I did not think this mini peck could get a hit. Honestly, it was really unfortunate that it did, and Mother Witch gets a lot of damage too, so that was just not the best micro on my end. I feel like, going back in hindsight, I should have just allowed this archer to die to the flying machine, then went skeletons down low over here to distract for the flying machine, but anyways, we're down 1.5. Another thing I could have done is obviously just fireballed right there, but what's done is done. I'm down 1.5k. There's absolutely no way my opponent should lose from this position, because he has Giant Lightning. I'm down so much. And yeah, I go for an Xbow with the counter-pushing archers just to find out what he has in case I have a way of coming back. But, of course, Giant comes down to full counter the Xbow and archers, so pretty unfortunate over there. And then, yeah, it's a very interesting Giant deck, to be honest. Like, he has an Ice Spirit in here, too, which is pretty weird. It actually does help him out quite a bit as well, honestly, because Ice Spirit to cycle just helps quite a bit. Here, I just get back to my archers. There's obviously no point going for a fireball. I feel like it's just going to be a negative elixir trade against the everything he has, or at least even, whereas archers are positive. And I was also able to cycle back to my Xbow while he's not back to his Giant by going for that. So, yeah, honestly, I could have gone Xbow right now. I did not think he would be back to his... I thought he would be back to his Giant much quicker, but he actually wasn't, so I guess I should have gone Xbow, but it's fine. I just logged the Ice Spirit off. Can't afford to take any hits right now, and this is exactly what I'm going to be talking about. Patience is key. So I go for a Tesla. I know he has Giant and Cycle, so I'm not being too aggressive with my Xbow opposite or anything. Goes for a Barb Barrel, and then Flying Machine to snipe the Tesla. I just take it out with my archers, and again, just playing it very passive and safe. Not going with any aggressive Xbows yet, and I just fireball the Mother Witch again, staying disciplined. I've been fireballing Mother Witch in both lanes. Also, can kind of hear my own voice right now. It sounds really bad with like how off my throat is, but whatever. I just want to make this video anyways, so yeah, it is what it is. Goes for the aggressive Giant mini P.E.K.K.A right now, and I think he lightnings with this push, so I get my defense ready, but he's ready with the NATO plus lightning. And right here, I could definitely go for an Xbow to punish, but I actually just full defend, because I have to full defend. Like, that's all I can really do. So I actually just I'm back to a second Tesla. I'm down a lightning. I'm still playing patient. This is exactly what I'm talking about with the patience is key, where I could be punishing even right now, but I'm still playing patient. And, you know, it just is what it is. So I go for another Tesla, and right now I get ready to Xbow because he does go for a Lightning. And so I was ready with the reaction time. Instantly noticed that, guys. This reaction time is very important because he did not actually have enough for the E-Giant in time. And if you react fast enough, you can get them. Unfortunately, though, I misplaced my Xbow. So you'll see right here a very nice trick. You kite the mini P.E.K.K.A. out of Xbow range or whatever troop they have, and you kite it to the side. And this actually would have been Xbow lock right now. I think if my Xbow wasn't in the middle, sadly I misplaced it over by 1 in my haste. I got it down. You know, reacted really fast, but still should have been 1 more over to the left. And so he actually was able to get his E-Giant down because my trick didn't work because I misplaced my Xbow. But right now, I've not only outcycled both his mini P.E.K.K.A., I mean his E-Giant, but also his Lightning, and his cycle is so bad right now, and he's down to Elixir, and all of that is because I got the perfect Xbow. So, you know, he went for a very aggressive Lightning. I was able to punish it by reacting instantly with an Xbow. Essentially, it's like I split archers, he goes mini P.E.K.K.A. I go Tesla, he goes Lightning. That's like 10 for 7 by me, I guess. Like, I spent 3 with the archers, 4 with the Tesla. He spent 10 with the mini P.E.K.K.A. plus Lightning, or Mother Witch plus Lightning, however you want to look at it. And he's basically down a lot of Elixir. So even though this Xbow doesn't really break through, the next one is going to break through because I'm already back to another Xbow. Notice I'm defending this Xbow, so I can not only cycle back, but also just defend the E-Giant as fast as possible. And now I'm ready with my micro. You know, I catch the Barb Barrel, I log, get the Knight down in case he goes for a NATO or something. And he gets his Flying Machine down late. And at this point, the game's already over. I've already gotten a huge little punish. And that's going to be GG. So as you guys can see, way into overtime, I was down even more. Like, I was down to less than 1k. I let him get so much damage with the Lightnings, and just patience is key. That's all I can say about that match. So hopefully that helps you guys out. So next one we have, this one is kind of a meme. Like, don't take this one too seriously, but I just want to show you guys how you're supposed to beat like bad Hoggy players in single, because I mean that's pretty much what happened. Like, if they're not ready for it, you can punish this deck very easily because there are lots of bad people playing this deck. And no offense to my opponent here, but he did not play it well at all. So if your opponent does not play this matchup well, you can punish them very easily with Xbow. So, you know, as right off the bat, very aggressive Hog Mighty Miner, just Knight plus Tesla to easy counter. And you already know he's messing up by going for like such an early Firecracker. Like, there's no need to be doing all of that, but he does anyway. So I just activate King, free King Tower activation as early as possible, guys. Take it against the Firecracker in this matchup because you need that activated King. And then I split archers here. Notice I'm always splitting archers before going for Xbow for the most part, so he has to commit something. Like, he goes for the log, I think, in the left, or he's just leaking actually. But basically, I go for an Xbow at 10, he's still at 10, he's leaking, but I have a free archer on the board, so split archer is really no downside. If he went for a log or something, it would have been even better for me because I would have had an Xbow, he would not have had a login cycle, and I would have had a free archer coming down. But notice I'm ready with the preemptive skeletons and then react with the Knight in time. He goes for the EQ, which does not get anything down in time, and that's literally going to be GG. Like, not only does he not defend that well, he also does have a delivery in here, which actually doesn't even make it that bad of a matchup for me. Like, no evolution Firecracker. He does have the Mighty Miner, but still really bad log as well, by the way. Like, I don't know what that was about, but again, I believe I just split archers. I'm up Elixir right now, but I don't go for the Xbow. I just compound it by going for the split archers. And then he goes for a Mighty, so this is exactly what I was talking about as well. Like, a bad player will waste their Mighty like that, and now the game is literally over, because I split archers, I baited out the Mighty in the wrong lane. Like, very bad play, but you can definitely bait bad players into doing this kind of stuff. And then I go for an Xbow. Knight to protect the bomb tower, because of course it has to come down. Log to DPS and take it out as fast as possible to get the lock, and then it's pretty much over. Like, and as you guys can see, very easy just to full counter a Mighty Miner. Split archers, 1 archer, plus just skeletons will full counter, and I'm already up 2k. So, you know, this game's already over. He says thanks. He goes for like a last second hog. Here I do a little trick, which I guess I can talk about a bit as well, although the game's already over. I could have gone for a Tesla here, but I didn't want to get outcycled, number 1. Number 2, I wanted to save some elixir for the offense, so I went for just a Ice Spirit plus Knight, just to take only 1 hog hit because I have to activate a King as well. And I'm actually up elixir right now, as you guys can see. I'm at 9, he's at 6, going to 7. And I have the archer coming down as well, so I'm up elixir and just kind of sack and attack kind of thing, where you take some damage and just go in. And yeah, my opponent literally gave up after that, so that one was kind of a joke. I mean, it's pretty low in a GC anyway, but yeah, a really nice win. For the next match, I want to show you guys this game against Lavahound because it was pretty clutch, honestly, and really useful. Like, I always beat Lava Hound if I play well, and it's not like a terrible matchup because I feel like Thupano does pretty well against Lava, and I feel like Lava is one of my best matchups. So I just wanted to show you guys this game as well. So, you know, starting out, when they go for a tombstone like this and you don't have a fireball, honestly, I wouldn't even fireball this if I was playing super safe, because, you know, if he has Lava Hound, it's a bad fireball. If he has Graveyard, that's a good fireball, but you don't know for a fact when they go tombstone first play if they have Graveyard or Lava Hound, so I'd say play it safe. But anyway, back to my main point. I don't want to log right away. I cycle my skeletons first and then go log, just to take a bit more HP out of the tombstone. In the meantime, and here you can see I actually hover the fireball. I was meaning to fireball the flying machine, but I ended up misclicking, going for Ice Spirit the bridge instead. So, and that's why I said oops, like that was a pretty big mistake, I guess. Not too big of a deal, it's only 1 elixir, but yeah, kind of sucks, I guess. I just go for a knight anyway to make up for it. And now I go for the Xbow because he actually doesn't have anything to tank for this, unless he goes for a defensive miner, which, you know, who wants to go for that, right? But he does, so, you know, I take it. Just messing up his cycle in single, and so it's Lava Miner, but when they cycle their barbs like that, I feel like it's honestly fine. And here again, I go for the same trick I was talking about, where you cut their stuff out of Xbow range, get a small little lock, very nice stuff. And I'll take some barb hit here, but yeah, I take like 1 hit. Honestly, that's fine. No point overcommitting again. That's using tower damage as a resource. You know, if I was being too like obsessive about every piece of damage, I could have gone archers or even knight. Archers would have been the worst because archers I need for the lava defense, so going archers on that barb would have been like one of the worst plays I could have made. Knight wouldn't have been that bad because he would have had to respond at least, but still, you know, there's no point going for that when there's no need to, I guess. So I just split archers now, and then he goes for a tombstone in the back. So now I know I've actually outcycled his barb, so I think I go in right here in the right, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I do, and I'm hovering the fireball as well, because he's not actually back to his barbarian, so how's he going to stop this? Plus, he goes skelly drags the back same time, so this is another thing, guys. Splitting archers is always nice, because they're always inclined to, like, go for something. Like, he goes skelly drags here, I guess because I split archers, and then I was able to go in the right, so, you know, split archers is really an underrated play, honestly. Here, I believe I try and catch the barb barrel, and I mess up, but it's fine. Just late log on the miner to get a small lock, and then just Ice Spirit to freeze these skeleton dragons, because Ice Spirit is very clutch, as you guys can see. And Knight actually gets some hits as well, so that's very clutch, like huge. And now I can just actually go skeletons for this flying machine. I believe it only takes 1 hit, so perfect time skeletons. Should only be like 1 tower hit or maybe 2. Yeah, 2 hits is fine as well. Like I'm up 1,000 right now, so I'm chilling. And then I think, do I go Xbow or split archers here? Either one should be fine, but okay, go for the Xbow. And I hover my fireball again for his barbs and or scaly drags, whatever he wants to go for. Scaly drags do come down, so I fireball, and honestly well played going barbs as well. I was not expecting him to go for something like that quick, I guess, but again I try and kite these barbs out of Xbow range. He does get the barb barrel down, but as you guys can see, it's just a game of outcycling. Xbow's a cycle deck. I've outcycled his barbs, his skelly drags, and he has to go for a defensive miner, so knight to block. He has nothing in hand right now. I log before he can even get the tombstone down. This is very key guys, like last second stuff, catching them off guard. It might look like I just caught him slipping or he was just a bit lazy, but no, that was actually a really well-timed log to catch him off guard, because he actually was not ready for that at all. So I'll show you guys again. This last second log and fireball is something I do all the time. So Xbow right now. Okay, poison's being annoying for some reason, but yeah. I go for the knight, and then I log the miner before he can afford the tombstone. Look at the elixir bar. He does not have enough right away. Like, he probably just barely got enough, but he was not expecting that at all. So, really nice, and that's going to seal the deal, basically, because now the game is pretty much over. I can actually just keep pressuring to, you know, I haven't actually let him go for a single big lava push yet. By the way, let that be known as well. He goes for one now, but I just defend. I go for a high Tesla, which doesn't do too well in this matchup, but I just decided, you know, I'm up so much, I can just do whatever I want, basically. I fireball these, and now it's actually really important because my knight is actually pressuring. Like, knights don't do that well on defense in this matchup, but they do get a lot of counter push value. And so right here, it's just tanking, but it's actually forcing stuff out, because he actually does have to go for something. Like, knight gets 1 hit, I think, and that's actually all I need. Like, that's going to be 2 fireballs. Also very key here, by the way, whether that Lavahound was half alive, full HP, or almost dead. Notice my Tesla, guys, snipe the flying machine first and foremost. Very important fundamental against Lavahound. You want to snipe the support first, so I snipe the flying machine, perfectly placed Tesla. I'm pretty good at those, honestly, and it hits the flying machine first, which is the bigger threat. So very nice stuff there, and that's just going to be a nice little way to counter. And here I'm calculating in my head, like, is that enough for a fireball and a log? It's not for 2, but is it worth it? Like, it looks like it's going to be close, but honestly, I'm down a bit of elixir. I don't see the point like going into with Xbows into like a Lavahound push where I might not get the tower. So I decide, 2 fireball logs is worth it in this instance. It's always up to you whether it's worth it or not, but here I decide it is. So I just go, I see the lava and I'm still like, yeah, okay, screw it. I'm gonna go for the 2 fireballs, 2 logs. So there's 1, and then I just have to stall. So skeletons, knight, and I'm already back, just fast cycling. And knight does tank for quite a while, so really nice stuff. And he gives a good game as well. Like, he knows I played it pretty well. I didn't let him go for a single big lava push pretty much the whole game, to be honest. So very nice stuff there. Pretty happy with that win, honestly. And I guess I'll show you guys 2 more games for the Xbow guide. So let me see what would be good here. I guess I could show the 12-win match. Okay, I'll show you guys the 12-win match, and then I want to show you this Giant Sparky, even though it's at very low wins. Like, just it's a pretty good example of how to play this matchup, I feel. So I'll show you guys the 12-win match first. This was a 12-win match for my last GC. As you guys can see, like, I'm 4-0 right now, and these are 4, so this is, like, that's how you know it's a 12-win. So that means this was for 10 wins, this lava one I showed you. And this is actually like a CRL pro, I think, like Sean Kim, or like a CRL coach. I've actually played him a lot in GCs before, but I usually do beat him. But yeah, I'll show you guys this one right now. Very interesting deck. As I said, these SK Xbow guides will just be like anything that I feel like explaining to you guys. No real organization in terms of what I'm showing, just like a bunch of guides, I guess, on like a bunch of tips and tricks I can give you. And also let me know if you guys do enjoy this kind of stuff, because I love, teaching you guys how to play the deck. Anyway, pretty awkward starting hand, I think. Well, not that awkward, I guess, but I go for an Ice Spirit, he ignores it, so I feel like, okay, if I go for skeletons, he'll ignore it as well, then I'll have to go knight anyway, so might as well just go knight first regardless. Like, that was my thought process there. I actually just decided no point cycling skeletons, so I go for the knight. And he goes for a P.E.K.K.A, which is, like, typical, I guess, and I just go for an Xbow opposite, because that's, like, always the play against P.E.K.K.A the back. Now, this is kind of scuffed, because, I mean, I have to overcommit to this eye drag, and my knight's basically dead. It's going into this P.E.K.K.A, so this is really sketchy right now. I mean, the archers were good to take the eye drag out, but I'm actually down a lot right now, and I could have let that go and gone skeletons late. Like, I would have at least had archers for this P.E.K.K.A, so this is definitely very scuffed right now. I go for the Tesla and get a very nice Ice Spirit on everything. Notice this, guys. Ice Spirit on everything, very crucial. And then I think I Fireball as well. Yep, just to keep the Tesla alive as much as possible. And I log as well to make sure the P.E.K.K.A doesn't get a single hit on my tower, because, I can't afford to be taking that. So, I'm down a bit of elixir, but honestly that's better than I could have asked for, considering he ignored my Xbow, went eye drag. I had to overcommit to the eye drag with the archers. That was technically like a -5 on the right, where he went eye drag on Xbow plus archers. So honestly, I'll take that. He goes for a lumberjack. I honestly feel like he could have gone P.E.K.K.A in front, maybe, because he was up so much elixir, but at the same time I'm playing a cycle deck, so maybe not. I just go for a knight. Not sure why he was hovering tornado there. No idea what he was trying to do with that, but I think he goes P.E.K.K.A the back again, or I'm waiting for him to go P.E.K.K.A the back. I just split my archers. He goes for an Xy the back. And this is a bit late, but I think I Xbow anyway. If I was like on time, I should have Xbowed right now, but I think I was like lying down when I was playing or something, so, not optimal. I was just chilling, so I went Xbow a bit late. He definitely could have afforded to get a P.E.K.K.A down in time if he wanted to, but he didn't react fast enough, I guess, so he let it lock on. Or he wanted to do this on purpose. Either way, I go for a Tesla in the middle. Nice placement, guys. This inner Xbow, you can go for a center Tesla, and whatever they play on the Xbow will get targeted by this Tesla. And this is a very nice little micro example right here, guys. I go Ice Spirit for the Xy, and then skeletons late on the P.E.K.K.A. So I'll show you guys that again, because it was actually a very clean micro example. So I'll show you guys in slow motion, I guess. Just, I don't know. Here you go. Ice Spirit for the Xy, and then skeletons once the Xy is retargeted. And that's going to be a very nice example of micro, where I'm going to be able to, number 1, distract the Xy, and number 2, still distract the P.E.K.K.A as well. Like, basically have both things do their jobs, where the Ice Spirit freezes everything, and the skeletons distract the P.E.K.K.A, while Ice Spirit does not get one-shot by the P.E.K.K.A, and skeletons do not get shredded by the Xy. So now, it's in for the final defense. He goes eye drag late, that's fine. This time I think, I split archers, because I want 1 to go for the eye drag, 1 to help out with this push, and then Tesla, because I need to defend this. Honestly, Skeletons could have been either lane. I think it's fine, though. And then I get back to a second Tesla just barely in time. Like, this looks very scuffed, to be honest, but I think I get it down just barely, thank God. And then I just fireball. He goes for a second freeze. Like, he really thought I was not going to fireball that. Like, I was definitely fireballing that, because that was way too aggressive and risky to not let that happen by me. Like, if I didn't fireball and just risked, like, oh, 1 HP P.E.K.K.A, like, there's no reason for me to risk that. Like, I already took his tower. Might as well overcommit on defense than risk some random... Like, he even goes for this NATO. It's pretty funny, honestly, seeing him try. I mean, to be fair, he is trying his best, but, yeah, he's really mad about it, so I think I just say thanks or something. Like, yeah, I just give the king, like, Wi-Fi disconnect, because, I don't know, he wants to be, like, he was not happy about that, but, yeah, interesting player for sure. Very interesting player. Interesting deck as well. But yeah, for the final match, guys, I'll show you guys this one against Giant Sparky, because I feel like I've gotten a lot better at this matchup. This was always one of my better matchups, but honestly, recently, one of my friends, Heisenberg, taught me some stuff in this matchup, and it actually changed the way I approach it a bit, especially in terms of being more aggressive. Like, that's the main thing I learned. Because I'm a very passive player sometimes. I can defend very well, like, perfectly for, like, minutes on end, but eventually, you know, if you test yourself with micro all the time, you will eventually mess up, and it's only going to take one mess up for them to get a huge punish on you. I'm sure you guys know that as Xbow players. Anyway, first play, just giant mini P.E.K.K.A at the bridge. I just had to overcommit on defense because no point risking anything. I just defend. And he zaps. So, you know, this is all fine and well. Again, this is also an example of patience paying off, where I could just Xbow on offense at any time, but I decided to just play passive instead. Goes for a Sparky. And since I cycled a log, I decided no point going Xbow. Honestly, if I didn't cycle a log, I should have Xbowed, because he did not have his giant back in cycle, and I could have, like, logged the Skarmy. I could have fireballed the Horde. Bats would have done nothing, so honestly, that would have been a perfect Xbow. But honestly, this is also, like, first win in GC. I'm not tryharding in a GC at 0 wins. I'm just, like, playing autopilot, so I was not counting cycle at the same time. But still, you know, that's a lot of fireball value. And I'll tell you guys one thing about this deck in general. Ice Spirit is very annoying to hit all 5 bats with, so if you can take fireball value on bats, don't be afraid to, whether that's on defense or even on tower sometimes. Like, you'll see right there, I just took the fireball. I just knight for the Sparky as well. And Skeletons for the Giant. Like, I'm down a bit of elixir, but I'm taking absolutely 0 damage, and I think it's worth it, like, just to be safe. So I believe he goes for a very aggressive mini P.E.K.K.A at the bridge right now, if I'm not mistaken, but we'll see. Either way, it's no concern to defend. Yeah, I believe mini P.E.K.K.A at the bridge is incoming, you know, typical 0 win. Okay, never mind. Mini P.E.K.K.A at the back, but he goes for like a mini P.E.K.K.A plus arrows push or something. Like, very interesting behavior. I just go for an Ice Spirit to cut it over, and then log last second, and that should be no hits, I believe. Yeah, no hits after the log. So, honestly, still just playing patient, chilling. And now I think I'm ready to Xbow. I hover my Xbow, because now if he Sparkies, I will Xbow. He's not back to his giant this time. And yeah, it's worth it. So I go for the Skeletons, just to distract, you know, the best placed Skeletons I could have gone for, I think. And very nice stuff there. Giant comes down, but a bit too late, like, just didn't work out. And this is a big thing, guys. I could have easily gone Knight for that Skarmy as well, but I didn't. And the reason for that is because a big fundamental in this is going Knight on the Sparky. Like, sure, you can fully surround a Sparky with Skeletons. You can go Ice Spirit, Skeletons late, whatever. You can get some cycle card tricks, but fact is, they have spells in this deck. They have Zap and Arrows. You don't really want to get yourself screwed over by having them predict your Skeletons with a spell. Then you're forced to overcommit your scrambling and your cycle's all messed up. So what I find is it's very safe to just not go Knight and save it for the Sparky, and that's exactly what I did here. As you guys can see, a very clean +3 trade as well. Just a +3 on the Sparky. And perfect defense. I got a lock, and everything worked out. He goes for the Horde. I stack archers in this lane where he doesn't want to go for. I fireball. He goes for the arrows, and now he's down so much elixir I can just go for an Xbow. Do I actually? Yeah, I think I should, right? Because I'm up so much. Now I Knight to predict. He actually does go for the low Sparky, which is, you know, interesting. Like, there are 2 plays I see Sparky players make usually. Number 1 is they let the Xbow lock onto the tower and go Sparky late. Number 2 is they go Sparky right at the bridge on the Xbow. So I was trying to get that second use case with Knight in front. My opponent did a mix of both. Like, he went Sparky late, but low enough to not get predicted by the Knight, I guess. But also early enough that Xbow would target the Sparky instead of the tower. So I guess, you know, it's a bit too late to overtime for him to let my Xbow get a lock. But You know, I still take it. I know he has a zap in here, so even though I know he has a Skarmy, I feel like a good Sparky player could go for a last-second zap to keep the Sparky alive, and so I went log just to make sure the Sparky got taken out, because, you know, I am used to playing against pretty good Sparky players for the most part, at least when I play ladder. So I go for a Fireball on the Skarmy because I already logged. Ice Spirit, as I said, is hard to hit all bats, but I still do an okay job. Skeleton's late, and again, I'm up Elixir because he's just feeding into my stuff, so I just go for an Xbow plus Knight in front as well. He has a Sparky, same spot. This time I don't make the mistake of logging. I switch it up. Another thing you guys will see I do, I'm very adaptable, or adaptive, I guess, and I save the log. This time he actually just feeds my log with a Skarmy into it, so even better for me. And he goes for a Horde. So now this is another final tip, guys. Always be flexible with this deck to switch lanes. Like, I know Xbow's a one lane, one tower deck, but don't be afraid to switch things up, because right here, I know I'm up so much Elixir, right? He's literally at 2. I know for a fact he's down so much after going for this Horde. I know for a fact my Tesla's healthy enough where if I support with one cycle card, it'll defend the rest of the Horde. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I want to punish right now. I'm going to go in the left. And so I Ice Spirit just to freeze, and then I Xbow in the left immediately. I know he has absolutely nothing in hand, nothing in cycle, like Giant is still too far. He can go for the bats, it won't be enough to get a Giant down in time. He goes Giant now, and the game's already over because he's worried about defending this Xbow. He's not going to be able to defend the next one, and it's all about what happens in the future. So he's going to zap, and I wait. Notice I don't go to the skeletons. I know he has zap and cycle, so I wait on my skeletons and then go skeletons. Ice Spirit as well. Then Xbow in the other lane, Knight in front for the Sparky, and this game is literally just over. Like, I believe I win off this push now, because he should not be surviving this. Yeah, I Fireball the Sparky, I log the Skarmy, and it's just over. He has no zap and cycle either, there's no way to reset. And that was just a beautiful game against Sparky, honestly. Absolutely zero mistakes from me. And of course my opponent wasn't the best player, but still, you know, no matter how bad your opponents are, there can still be lots to learn from in any of these matches, I feel like. So, you know, that's why I definitely want to show you guys this match as well. This actually gave me the idea to make a video like this match right here. Then I got some more ones like this one. Then I was like, okay, might as well just show you guys this one as well. I did record the 12-win GC, but it had like my background music in it, so I'm probably just going to upload it for members only on my main channel. But yeah, that's going to be for the video, guys. You know, just pretty typical Xbow fundamentals, SK Xbow guide. Okay, you know what? Just for fun, I'll play one to close the video out, just because why not? I'll just show you guys that some of my videos are live. I do take pride in my live commentary as well. I'm gonna give him the good luck. Unfortunately, though, I am still really sick, so my voice is like dying, but goes for the Spears. Let's see what he has. Spears Wall Breakers looks like it's gonna be the Remy Ellie deck. I will just defend both lanes with my cycle cards, and then split archers. Worst case is gonna be some annoying like MK Prince deck, but okay, Bomb Tower is perfect. I'll just go for an Xbow right now. Won't predict anything in front. Okay, he actually goes for a Marcher. Was not expecting that. I'll log as well. And wow, first time I've seen a Fireball in here. Might go Spears. I'll just let it go. Honestly, yeah, he has Spears. So I'm learning more about how he plays as well, like his playstyle and everything. So it's all good. You know, I take some chip, but it's fine. I know he has a Fireball, which is actually annoying. But I think he might have a Fireball Tornado, which would be really nice. Like, if he doesn't have a log, that would be really clutch, because log is actually very annoying. Cleaning out Xbows. Anyway, just gonna switch my archers again. He goes miner. Is he gonna go wall breakers with it too? No, just a miner. So now I'll go for Xbow in the right and Knight in front to predict the bomb tower, and or whatever he wants to go for. Let me see if I can get this log down in time. That would be really nice. And of course I couldn't, but still should be a lock. He has to go for a Fireball at least. I'll Ice Spirit to pressure with this archer, but yeah, that was kind of scuffed, honestly. We do force out the Spears. I'm just going to take that, honestly. Like, I'll ignore it, because I want to save my skeletons for the miner if he goes for one. And I'll take that one spear. But yeah, this is not looking like the best start, to be honest, but it's fine. Like, especially if he doesn't have a log, as I said, this should be possible to come back in. But again, this is also not a great matchup. Like, this matchup's kind of annoying. Gonna skeletons for that. He might go for a Marcher to snipe. And if he does, I'm going to punish big time Xbow plus Knight for the bomb tower. He might try and get away with... Okay, he doesn't. Goes for a Valk. Well played. I'll Ice Spirit for the Marcher. Get ready to log the wall breakers. Oh, I can't. Wow, that's actually so annoying. As you guys can see, this is why I hate wall breakers. They defend... Like, they're just so annoying. Anyway, just gonna log. I do get my damage back at least, but they take out like half an Xbow for only 2 elixir. This is why I don't like wall breakers. I'll go skeletons. I'll go for a high Tesla to predict the Marcher this time. Don't want to mess around with the Marcher. And bomb tower. I'll just Xbow right now. I don't think he's going to Marcher on this. I feel like he wouldn't. I'll knight now for the Marcher, possibly. Yeah, there's the Marcher, gonna Fireball as well. And I can log if he goes for the Wall Breakers. Oh, terrible. Wall Breakers going right into my log, and that's gonna be GG pretty much, because, like, that's pretty much it. Like, that's too much damage to take. I can just keep pressuring. Oh, my phone's pretty low on battery. He might Bomb Tower. If he does, I'll just Fireball it. Okay, yeah, that's gonna be GG. He'd not even have enough Elixir, I think. He probably had enough for a Bomb Tower, but not enough to, like, I guess he wasn't confident to, like, go for the Bomb Tower up high, I guess. But yeah, that's gonna be it. So really nice win. As I said, not having log on his end is huge as well, just because it's not like it really works out, right? Like, there's so many times you have a low HP X where you want to log it off, but he has to NATO instead. So, you know, I actually lost to Remy Ellie with this deck. Remember, for my 1 of 7 finish, I lost to Remy with that deck, and that was, like, he played that very well, but honestly, I feel like against a good Xbow player, that deck, or against a good Minor Wallbreakers player, that deck should still give you a lot of trouble. I can't tell if it's worse with log or Fireball. I feel like both have their merits for the Minor player and for the Xbow player, but either way, you know, I know how to capitalize on both. Like, not having a Fireball means you can go defensive Expos to punish. Not having a log means you can be a bit more aggressive, and just, they have to overcommit to most Expos for the most part. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the video, guys. Played 1 live match just for fun. I would honestly do more, but I can honestly just do this all day. I also really want to record more when my voice is actually better and I'm not sick, so, you know, prayers for me that it's going to be better by tomorrow or something. But yeah, that's going to be for the video, guys. SK's Expo Guide Episode 1. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.